going to burn out. We won't end up with any gold at all, just ashes. So anyway, yeah, this has been my aim with the podcast, is to give not more knowledge, more information, but to give you all context. I've been aiming these podcasts not at people who need awakening or alerting to what's going on in the world, but to people who already know all of this and who are saturated with this kind of data and information, but they don't know what to do with it. That has been my endeavor, but in the process I found that I have fallen into the same trap, and I've ended up propagating memes and themes that were not necessarily the ones that I wanted to. I've been upholding them because that's the context that we've all been given, and so it's time for me to take this knowledge and figure out how to apply it in new ways. And so this last podcast is, well, it's me giving you a full scoop on the way I see things, you might say, albeit in a very condensed form, and with the hope that this will allow some of you to develop a new context for everything else that I've said here and everything else that you've heard within this community. So that's about it, I think. This is going to be a very long podcast, so I apologize for that, but going out with an epic bang, I hope, rather than an extended whimper. We shall see. I would like to say thank you to all of you for being there with me and coming on this journey, and for supporting what I've been doing in your own ways, and that I have accomplished really what I most set out to do, which was on the one hand to find my voice and to develop my voice and to reach an audience and to connect to you all out there, to another world out there that otherwise I wouldn't connect to, and then within that process to forge alliances and to meet other like minds and kindred spirits. And I've really uncovered some wonderful other minds and hearts and souls out there through the podcasts, meeting individuals such as Neil Kramer and Chris Knowles and Jake Coetzee, Jim Sanders, Kevin Annette, Peter Lavender, Henrik Palmgren. This has been very, very satisfying for me, very fulfilling at a personal level, because I've really not been able to connect to my peers in any way that was meaningful, effective before. And so I do think that this is the beginning of something, even though it appears to be the end. It's just something that has to occur at a much subtler, finer level, and not such an overt, obvious way. But these connections are being forged, and once again I'm grateful for that, very happy that things have played out the way they have, and I think that's about all I have to say. We shall now move on to the Sorcerers Revelation, and also introduce, very happy to have Neil Kramer on this show as a little guest appearance. Neil will be asking me my own questions at the beginning and at the end of this podcast. Or not really at the beginning anymore, because I've talked for almost 40 minutes. Good God! So that is very much that. Without further ado, then, Neil Kramer.
Okay, God game, I didn't notice that. Okay, do you like me to begin?
Yeah, I'm ready when you are, Neil. Thanks for doing
Okay,
this, by the way.
no problem. Okay, what quality do you like about yourself most?
My capacity to be spontaneous and playful.
Okay. What quality do you like about yourself least?
My self-pity.
Okay. What quality do you like about others most?
Openness, flexibility.
What quality do you like about others least?
Ignorance and arrogance.
And what's a word you like?
Surrender.
And a word you dislike?
Important.
What's a sound you enjoy?
I would have to say the breath of my beloved, or an ecstatic sigh from my wife.
I tell you what, that is gonna see you right for a good year, that comment, isn't it? That's so beautiful. Okay. And what's a sound you dislike?
Dogs barking.
Oh, really? Okay,
That really
that's a
gets
good
my
reason never
goat.
to live in a city.
Yeah, or Mexico for that
Mm.
matter.
What's a smell you like?
Hmm. I like the smell of rain.
What's a smell you dislike?
Tobacco on my wife's breath.
Oh, okay. What's your earliest memory?
That's really tricky. I have a very good frame of reference. I have a memory of the joy experience of being carried, of being picked up, which is a non-specific memory,
Mm.
but it's like a bodily memory. And I would guess that
Mm.
that would be my earliest memory. Yeah, one of my early memories, which is very sort of, I don't know what you'd call it, mysterious really, sort of esoteric, is of sitting in the kitchen in the sunlight by the window, drinking white coffee, so I couldn't have been that young, and thinking about infinity and a bee flying into my ear. I have no idea if this is a true memory or not, or where it came from. It's just one of those bizarre impressions that I have that it happened, but whether it did or not, I have no way of knowing.
That's a nice tale, either way.
Yeah, it's an archetypal memory anyway, even if it's not a real one.
Yeah, yeah. Bees are like, sacred beings. I was taking photographs of beings last summer, beings of bees last summer,
uh,
and they have quite a symbolic representative value in Gnostic and early Christian art.
yeah, yeah, they do as the only creatures of the earth that can travel from heaven to earth and back again.
Mm, wow, okay. So, what's your idea of hell?
Total isolation in the personal self forever.
Mm. What's your idea of heaven?
Infinite expansion. Music.
Mm.
First there was darkness. Then came the strangers. They were a race as old as time itself. They had mastered the ultimate technology, the ability to alter physical reality by will alone. They called this ability tuning. But they were dying. Their civilization was in decline. And so they abandoned their world, seeking a cure for their own mortality. Their endless journey brought them to a small blue world in the farthest corner of the galaxy. Our world. Here they thought they had finally found what they had been searching for.
Residing within the cells of the heart, liver, and lungs, there will be no eschaton, and such and so forth and so like. And then the Sorcerer's Revelation.
Now.
Out of action. I'm out of action. That's what I'm trying to say. Needing to stay horizontal. Trying to do as little as possible today, as well as me being incapacitated by this energetic wound from my distant past. The Fisher King wound. It forces me just to lie around languishing in discomfort, waiting for Parsifal to come and ask the right question so that this wound could be healed. But in the meantime, I'm also about to embark on a gallstone flushing fast cleanse today. This is following a 14-day parasite killing process